What's good, everyone? This your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering New Orleans Saints. And today I want to talk about an article that was written today, Sports.net, Saints writer Ross Jackson. Now, those of you who know Ross and familiar with his work knows that he is also the host of the Locked On Saints vertical, or that's a part of the Locked On Sports Podcast Network. And I want to just go ahead and just break down this article that he wrote today, stating why the Saints should pursue Jaire Alexander, who was released today by the Green Bay Packers. And at the time, there was a time where Jaire Alexander and Marshon Lattimore were like viewed as one of the two of the premier cornerbacks in the NFL at one point. Both of these guys got paid. Um, both of them wear the number 23. And recently, they got a lot in common. They both players have struggled to stay healthy recently. But I'm gonna just go ahead and just break down this article real quick and just go over what Ross was talking about. So Ian Rappaport reported today that the Packers were preparing to release two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Jaire Alexander, and Jackson just goes into detail on why the Saints should sign this guy, should consider adding Jaire Alexander to the room. They got Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going to his second season as a cornerback. He'll be a starter this time. Be one of the starters on the one side of the field. On the other side would be manned by Isaac Yiadom, who played pretty well with the Saints 2 seasons ago. And that season he had with the Saints in 2023 allowed him to become a free. Well, he was going to be a free agent anyway, but it allowed him to sign with the San Francisco 49ers with the season that just passed. And now that he's back with the Saints. And also Brandon Staley was the worked with the 49ers last year as an assistant. But um Alante Taylor, who a lot of people are expecting big things out of this season. He'll be playing a role that's gonna he's gonna be the slot corner for the Saints this season, and Kool Aid will be on the outside along with Isaac Yiadom. And to me, man, that's not really right now. The Saints don't have a good cornerback room. It might be a very underrated room. Isaac Yiadom is a serviceable defensive back, pretty good. But if we're being honest, if you feel as though the Saints can upgrade at that position, at Yiadom's position, you will want them to do that. Now, there's been other people out there that just feel as though with Alexander's injury history, that they should just roll with what they have at cornerback with Yiadom, Alante Taylor in the slot, and Kool-Aid McKinstry on the other side of the field. That they should just roll with that and see what happens, and save that money and use it somewhere else, or let that money roll into next season's cap. But to me, man, these recent transactions, the Saints have interest in Gabe Davis. The little, there's nothing been official on this yet. This is just more of an opinion. But should the Saints have interest in Jaire Alexander? I also heard that the Saints had interest in um, Nick Chubb, the free agent running back that's coming out of Cleveland. He signed with the Tennessee Titans, not the Tennessee Titans. He signed with the Houston Texans on Sunday. So all this indicates to me that the Saints are still serious about contending for the NFC South. This is because these are some big names that are coming on the wire on the tracker recently. Jaire Alexander released, Gabe Davis, Nick Chubb was a free agent, signed with the Houston Texans. Yet Saints had some interest there. I mean, they don't they'll never say they're rebuilding, you know. And moves like this, potential moves like this, indicate to me that they still feel as though they can win. They can win the NFC South. It just does, you know. And if you look at this list right here from Pro Football and Sports Network, when you talk about the best landing spots for Jaire Alexander, the Saints are nowhere on this list. You got the 49ers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers, Buffalo Bills, and the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, right now, you being honest, the Titans may have a more promising QB situation than the Saints right now going forward. But other than that, I mean, you got the Panthers on here, you got the Jaguars. Some of these teams on this list are like in the same boat as the Saints because we don't know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be under Liam Cohen. Tennessee Titans, the Titans and the Saints might have an identical record at the end of the season. We don't know yet. Carolina Panthers. Only out of the five teams on this list, only two of them are contenders, playoff contenders right now. To me, are strong playoff contenders. That's the Buffalo Bills, and the San Francisco 49ers. You know. So, man, and I know there was some talk about the Saints also have interest in Asante Samuel Jr., the free agent cornerback that's coming out of Los Angeles with the Chargers, who's also familiar with Brandon Staley. Some people feel as though the Saints should sign Asante Samuel Jr. because he is younger than Jaire Alexander and can be signed at a more cheaper rate. To me, man, look, I know, in my opinion, if it came down to between Jaire Alexander and Asante Samuel Jr., I would prefer that the Saints would sign Jaire Alexander because I think he's the better player and might win healthy. I think he's a better option than Asante Samuel Jr. And I know he's familiar with working with Brandon Staley, but still, you know. And and then I know that people say, well, Samuel is younger. They would prefer Samuel because he is younger than Jaire Evans, but Jaire Alexander, but it's only about 3 years. Alexander's 28. Samuel is 25. It's just about 3 years. So I get it though. Alexander's closer to 30 than Samuel. But if I'm serious about contending this season, I would sign Jaire Alexander. But Ross do mention in this article that I'm just look at it right here. Um, the Saints have the money. He mentioned that the Saints. You mentioned, for the first time in a while, the Saints have the money to be competitive. They currently sit with nearly 30 million of available salary cap space, allowing them to separate themselves from the pack if needed with their financial books. So yes, the Saints do have the money to sign this guy if they want to, but that's if Alexander wants to come here, and that's if he's still trying to get another payday. It won't be a massive payday like his other deal, but it would be a payday, a nice payday. Or is he about winning? Because I'm pretty sure he will have his suitors out there. A lot of teams will be interested in him. Even though he has not played a lot these past couple of years, he's only, according to Ross Jackson's article, he's appeared in just 7 games in each of the last 2 seasons and was only available for only 4 in 2021, he will have his suitors. He will have his suitors. Now, those other teams, if he goes to a contender, it's going to be a cheap deal. I'm pretty sure. You know, but I don't think the Saints. I mean, he's gonna. I mean, if he goes to the Saints, I don't think it's going to be a massive deal, a massive contract. You know, but I think I'm good either way. But I think if you want to go, you want to make this type of move, I would sign Jaire Alexander, in my opinion. And then that's not because of his name and he has accomplished more than Samuel. I just think he's the better option if he's healthy. He's a better option than Asante Samuel Jr. At your cornerback position. And pretty much, if you add a guy like this, you pretty much it will push down get him in the depth chart. But I think that's a good thing though because you have Yidam is a reliable corner, But as I previously said, I think a lot of people, if you ask a lot of Saints fans out there, would you like the Saints to, would you like the Saints to upgrade at that cornerback position, especially where Yidam was at? I think like 100% of them will say yes, including me. Because that's one of my, this is one of the reasons why I think the Saints are going to lose a lot of close games this year, a lot of shootouts, and that's because of that cornerback position. I think Kool-Aid is going to be solid. Gideon is going to have his moments, but I think a lot of offenses are going to take advantage of that. In my opinion, I think Alontae Taylor's going to have a great year. But if you can add a guy like a Jaire Evans or even a Asante Samuel, I think that's a huge upgrade to your room. If not, you're just gonna have to roll with the punches. You know, Pass rush gonna have to get home with these facing some of these quarterbacks. So we'll see how it all play out. But right now it's just pure speculation, man. But I'm pretty sure that you're gonna have an official. I'm not knocking Ross's report, but there's gonna be a story out there a story out there that says that the Saints are interested, will be interested in Jaire Alexander at the given time, at the right given time. So we'll see how it all play out. All right, so that's y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel as though the Saints should pursue Jaire Alexander or should they pursue Asante Samuel? Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.